Hey guys, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon here on Thursday, November 5th. I took my last trade of the day, my third trade, which was an aftermarket trade, and this was on SND, and it was a top gainer in the after hours. And it looks like it's still on the list, which, was not very big of a game. This is a sign that everything that was on this list is basically selling off right now, because a few minutes ago, SND wasn't even up here anymore. When I saw it, I think it was like 30% up, something like that. So I pulled it up on my trade screen. I didn't get to record it because I had a Zoom meeting going on in the background, but you can see my orders right here that I did trade it at 405. And so basically what happened is I pulled it up, and this candle was forming, and my strategy is to let it make a new high of day, and then on the pullback I buy the first break of the 1 minute candle, the high of a 1 minute candle. So that's exactly what I did. So I traded my strategy, I traded my plan, so no complaints there. The high of this candle was 163. When this candle was forming, it basically went from 163 to 165. And my entry ideally would have been 164, but it didn't give me that chance. It went right to 165. As soon as it did, I hit my hotkey to buy in, and that's where I got filled at 165. So, I got a decent fill. No issues there. No issues with Weeble. And then my stop loss, was right here. I knew that going in, that my stop loss was going to be the bottom of that candle. So essentially 10-cent stop loss, and I got filled with 8 shares because I buy $15 worth right now. So at 8 shares, so I was risking 80 cents, and could have had a pretty decent gain because there's a good chance that these things recover to their high and then often break out. That's the idea. A lot of these aftermarket top gainers, they shoot up, and then they do a little pullback, and then they continue on higher. So that's what I was going for, but it just didn't happen. So I just stuck to my plan, traded my plan, and the plan was as soon as it broke this level that I would stop out. So I was watching the trade kind of chop around here, and then when it got over here to this candle, it kind of just popped from 157 right down to 155. So as soon as it hit 155 or broke this level, I hit my sell all button and got out at 155. So I lost 10 cents per share, 80 cents plus 2 cents for the sell order. So in total, an 82-cent loss. In the grand scheme of things, not a big deal, for $150 account, small account, but that's less than 1% of the account. That's probably about 0.5%, close to 0.5% of the account. So not that big of a deal, but just a little discouraging because this whole day I've been just printing losses. The second trade that I took, I don't think it should have been a loss, and the reason why I have it in yellow is because when I looked back, I wasn't truly trading my strategy and my plan, and it wasn't intentional. It wasn't like in the moment I said, I'm going to break this rule or whatever. I just kind of, I goofed because there was lots of volatility. This is not an excuse. This is just kind of like what happened. There was lots of volatility in the stock, and I visually spotted where my stop loss was going to be, but I didn't take into account, what kind of price range that was. So I looked and I said, okay, when the price hits there, that's going to be where I stop. But visually, the candle was so big, I thought it was like a 10-cent stop or greater. But turns out it was only a 5-cent stop, and would have been totally fine to let the price chop around a little bit the way that it did, and let the trade play out a little bit. And I didn't do that. As soon as this thing got kind of choppy, I sold all my shares. I sold a little bit on the first pop and made a little profit, and then it came back down to my entry and I got out. But, looking back, if I was truly trading my strategy, the pop wasn't really big enough to warrant selling out on my entry. And I actually shouldn't even sold half because it wasn't a true pop. It was only like 1 cent, 2 cents. So the candles kind of deceived me, and I just wasn't paying attention to the actual price well enough. And the trade ended up working out, and I would have made a profit, and it would have probably either canceled out this loss, or made me a small profit on the day. But anyway, it didn't happen. There's no such thing as a perfect trader, and I'm certainly not one. And I think the markets are pretty crazy right now with the election results still trying to settle in. So I think that might be a factor in, the string of losses. The other thing to keep in mind is, it really takes about like 100 trades of consistent execution of your strategy to know whether it's going to work or not. So I'm in about 20 trades now, and two of them are, I think 21 in total, and two of them don't really fit my strategy. They're cases where I broke the strategy. So I need to have like 100 trades of this strategy without breaking, and not necessarily consecutively, but 100 in total without including the ones where I break the strategy, to determine whether or not it really works or not. So I'm going to stick with it because at least my losses are really small right now. When I started this strategy a couple weeks ago, I was at 152.29. I got the account up a little bit to 153.20, and then started to head south after that. And now I'm down a little bit more than this. I didn't update the total yet. I think it's 149.06. So I'm down basically $3 right now. But that's in 2 weeks' time, and that's about 2% of the whole account, my whole day trading account. And the goal for most day traders is not to lose more than 2%, in one day or one trade, right? So here I am working out this new strategy, and I've lost 2% in 2 weeks. So I think, considering it's a new strategy, I'm still getting the hang of it, and the markets have been extremely crazy and really choppy. The low float stocks are not really doing what they normally do. They're pretty weak right now. So I think all those things considered, the strategy is still working pretty well because it's keeping my losses to a minimum. So when things start to turn back around in the market, I'll have plenty of capital to recover my losses and hopefully make some decent gains. So that's it for today. I hope you guys are doing well. And the main thing is, just take your stop loss. Don't hold and hope, because look what happened to this thing. If I would have held on to it, now, it's almost 10 cents below where I stopped out. So, essentially I could have doubled or even more, because it went all the way down to 140. At what point do you, if you are holding and hoping, do you finally give up and say, okay, this thing, is not working out, let me get out of it? So anyway, that's the trade for the aftermarket for today, and hope you guys are doing better than I am. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to make, if there's 3 setups, I'll make 3 more trades and 3 more videos tomorrow. So let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. Take care.